Do 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 do. Good evening, wonderful people. Welcome back to tonight's episode of Our Journey to Dreamland. This evening, we are going to embark on a journey with many stories that will keep us company while we reach the dreamland. So grab your blankies and get ready for our journey. We will start our journey this evening with a story called
Fuzzy the Squirrel is hosting a show. Once upon a time, in the very same cozy forest, same as what? Our friend Fuzzy the Squirrel embarked on a new adventure. This time, Fuzzy wasn't looking for his nuts. Oh my gosh. He was on a quest. He was on a quest to find the perfect spot for his very own comedy show.
Today's the day! Fuzzy declared one bright morning, his eyes sparkling with excitement. I'm going to find the best stage in the forest, and it's going to be absolutely nuts. Hardy har har.
With a spring in his step, Fuzzy first approached the riverbank, thinking of the reflective waters would make a beautiful backdrop.
However, just as he was about to test the acoustics, a family of beavers popped up, shaking their heads. Sorry, Fuzzy, they said in unison. Unison? Unison. We're building a dam here. God damn it. It's going to be a bit noisy for a comedy show.
Fair point, Fuzzy chuckled. Not one to dampen anyone's spirit. Onwards to the next spot. Hardy har har.
Next, he considered the meadow with its flowers and open space. But as he set foot, a chorus of sneezes from the pollen-sensitive field mice stopped him in his tracks. Yeah, perhaps not the best for everyone's enjoyment. Fuzzy, wait, I thought that was the mice. Let me read that again. Perhaps not the best for everyone's enjoyment. Har har. Mused and scratching his head. Can't have my audience sneezing through my punchlines now, can I? Har har har.
Feeling a bit puzzled but ever optimistic, Fuzzy then had a light bulb moment. The clearing by the old oak tree is perfect. Hardy har har. It was spacious, scenic, and most importantly, available.
Word spread quickly through the forest about Fuzzy's comedy night. Squirrels, rabbits, deer, and even the usually nocturnal owl decided to stay up late for the occasion.
Fuzzy spent the afternoon preparing his best material, rehearsing under the old oak tree.
As the sun began to set, the forest creatures gathered, their air buzzing with excitement and the gentle rustling of leaves. Fuzzy took to his stage with a confident stride, a makeshift curtains of vines parting to reveal him.
Good evening, everyone. I am Fuzzy, and I will be your host tonight. I've got jokes, I've got stories, and if you're lucky, I might even forget half of them. Hardy har har. He began, earning an immediate round of laughter.
The show was a hit. Fuzzy's tales of misadventure, his playful banter with the audience, and even a humorous poem about a snail who lost his shell. He felt sluggish. Fuzzy quipped har har har, kept everyone in stitches.
As the night drew to a close, Fuzzy thanked his audience, his heart full. Remember, friends, laughter. Why am I getting these things? But anyway,
It's funny, right? How you got both.
I got both of them. Remember, friends, laughter is the nut that keeps us all together. Hardy har har, he said, earning cheers and applause.
The old, the old oak tree clearing became a regular spot for gathering, not just for comedy, but for sharing stories, songs, and the warmth of community. And Fuzzy, our forgetful funny squirrel, found that sometimes the best adventures are those that brings joys to others.
And so, the forest remained a place of laughter and light, where every creature knew they had a part in the grand comedy of life.
And with that ends the story of Fuzzy, the silly little squirrel. The end.
The end.
Wait, there's a part we didn't read. Good night, sleep tight, and may your dreams be filled with laughter and the warmth of good company.
Quest for the dragon's power. In a land where magic thrived in every corner, held a new mystery, there existed a tale whispered by the wind, spoken in a hushed tone by travelers and bards alike. The legend of the dragons, majestic, powerful, and shrouded in mystery. Dragons were said to possess a power unlike anything the world had ever seen, but no one knew the true nature of this power, and many believed it to be nothing more than a myth.
However, for a group of 4 friends, each with their unique skills and boundless curiosity, this legend was more than just a tale. It was a challenge, a riddle waiting to be solved.
Maxy, the brilliant thinker with a knack for building anything from scratch, was always ready for an adventure. His mind was a well-oiled machine, constantly buzzing with ideas and inventions. He could not resist the allure of discovering the true power of dragons. For if the legends were true, it could lead to the greatest invention the world had ever seen.
Ghost, the sharp-eyed hunter, was a master of the wilderness. With her keen senses and unmatched skill with the bow, she could track anything, anywhere. The thrill of the hunt called to her, and the idea of tracking a dragon was one of the most elusive creatures, was a challenge she could not pass up.
Kokoro, the tiny but fierce fairy, was the heart of the group. With her glowing wings and a magic that could heal wounds and charm even the most stubborn of creatures, she brought a touch of enchantment to the journey. Kokoro had always been fascinated by the stories of dragons, not just for their power, but for their beauty and grace. She believed that there was more to dragons than just their strength.
And then there was Homie, the lovable troll with the jolly belly and an even jollier laugh. Though he was strong enough to cross the borders with his bare hands, Homie had a soft spot for all things magical and wondrous. The idea of meeting dragon was filled him with childlike wonder, and he was determined to see one with his own eyes.
Together, the 4 set out on their quest. Their journey led them through dense forest where the trees whispered secrets, across vast deserts where the sand seemed to sing, and up towering mountains where the air was thin and crisp.
As they ventured deeper into unknown lands, they encountered countless obstacles. There were riddles to solve, treacherous paths to navigate, and creatures both strange and dangerous to face. But each time they encountered a challenge, Maxy's inventions, Ghost's skills, Kokoro's magic, and Homie's strength saw them through.
One evening, as they camped at the edge of the dark and ancient forest, Kokoro fluttered around the campfire, her wings casting shimmering light in the darkness. "We're getting closer," she said, her voice filled with excitement. "I can feel it! The dragons are near!"
Maxy adjusted his goggles, a look of determination on his face. If we're going to find them, we'll need to be prepared. I've been working on something this might help us. Dragon trackers. They'll pick up the unique energy that dragons are said to emit.
Ghost, who was sharpening her arrows, nodded approvingly. Good thinking, Maxy. With those, we'll be able to find them before they find us.
Homie, who was roasting a large fish over the fire, grinned. "I can't wait to meet one. I bet they're even more amazing than the story said. Maybe we can even be friends."
The next morning, with Maxy's dragon trackers in hand, they set off to the ancient forest. The deeper they went, the more the forest seemed to come alive. The trees grew taller and older, their branches intertwining to create a canopy that blocked out the sky. The air was thick with magic, and the sounds of forest were both eerie and beautiful.
Suddenly, one of the trackers began to beep softly. Maxy's eyes lit up. "We're close," he whispered.
They followed the signal until they reached a clearing, and there, in the center, stood a creature of unparalleled majesty, a dragon. Its scales shimmered like gemstones, reflecting every color of the rainbow. Its wings were vast, capable of blotting out the sun, and its eyes glowed with ancient wisdom.
But instead of attacking, the dragon simply watched them, its gaze calm and inquisitive.
Kokoro, her heart pounding with both fear and excitement, fluttered forward. "Great dragon," she called out, her voice trembling. "We have traveled far to learn the truth of your power. We mean no harm."
The dragon tilted its head, then spoke in a voice that resonated through the clearing, deep and melodic. "You seek the truth, but do you understand what you ask for? The power of dragons is not just in our strength, but in our knowledge, our history, and our bond with the world."
Maxy stepped forward, his curiosity piqued. "But what is this power? How can we understand it?"
The dragon's eyes softened. "To understand our power, you must understand yourselves. Power is not just in might or magic, it is in wisdom and kindness and in the bonds you share. You too possess great power, more than you realize."
Ghost, always the pragmatist, asked, "So, it's not about physical strength or magical abilities?"
The dragon shook his head slowly. Those are merely tools. True power lies in how you use them, in the choices you make, and in the legacy you leave behind. You have traveled far, but the greatest journey is the one within.
Homie, with his jolly belly shaking with excitement, laughed heartily. "So we've had the power all along. That's awesome, but what can we still hang out? You're the coolest creature I've ever seen."
The dragon chuckled, a sound like rolling thunder. "You are welcome in my presence, young troll. You all are. Remember this lesson, and you will be as mighty as any dragon."
With that, the dragon spread its wings and took to the skies, disappeared into the clouds. The group stood in awe, their hearts filled with a newfound understanding.
As they made their way back home, the world seemed brighter, more alive. They had discovered the true power of dragons, and in doing so, had discovered the true power within themselves.
And so, the legend of the dragon's power lived on, but now with a new chapter, one of friendship, wisdom, and the magic that comes from within.
The end.
Yeah!
Yay!
Yippee!
Our next story is called
The Blubber Beast Expedition. A remote, icy tundra with a massive, mysterious research base. The scientists are on a mission to discover and study the legendary Blubber Beast, a creature rumored to be both terrifying and magnificent. Fuck! The scene opens with the group of scientists huddled around a high-tech table in the research lab. The walls are lighted with monitors displaying data, maps, and sketches of the Blubber Beast. The air is tense as they prepare for their expedition.
The Blubber Beast has been sighted in this area. We must proceed with caution and gather as much data as possible.
Hardy har har. I bet the beast won't know what hit him when we show up. We'll be the ones making discoveries, not the other way around.
But what if it's louder than we think? What if it roars? We need to be ready. Meep, It could be really big and really scary. Meep meep.
Hey guys, we must approach with wisdom. The Blubber beast is a creature of ancient lore. Its behavior might be unpredictable, but if we understand its pattern, we may survive.
Splash, splash, splash. I hope it's a big, blubbery, silly thing. We'll just have to splash around it.
No matter what happens, we'll take care of each other. We're a team, and together we can handle anything.
Yeah, man, we're just gonna double down on the plan. Keep it cool, y'all, and everything will be chill.
Scene 2. The expedition begins. The group sets out on their journey across the icy tundra, equipped with high-tech gear and determination. With the wind howls around them as they trek through the snow.
Hardy har har. This is nothing. That blubber beast better watch out.
This wind is so loud. I bet the beast is even louder. Meep. It's so cold. Meep.
Stay close, everyone. The ice can be treacherous. We must watch our step.
Whee! I'm sliding! Splash, splash! Oh no! The temperature is dropping rapidly. We need to be mindful of our exposure time. Our survival depends on it.
Here, Meep, let's huddle together. We'll share warmth and keep moving.
Yeah, just keep it steady, folks. No rush. We get there in one piece.
Scene 3. The encounter. The group reaches the edge of a massive ice cavern. Inside, they hear a deep, rumbling growl. The blubber beast is near. They cautiously move forward, shining their light into the darkness.
Hardy har har. There it is. We found it.
It's huge and it sounds so loud. Meep. I don't like this. Meep meep.
It's magnificent and ancient. We must proceed very carefully.
It's so blubbery. Look at it jiggle. Splash, splash. Its size and movement suggest it's not aggressive, but we should keep our distance. We need to collect data without provoking it.
It's scared too. I can feel it. We shouldn't harm it.
Hey, man, let's just get what we need and double down back at the base, man.
Suddenly, the blubber beast lets out a loud, echoing roar. The cavern shakes, and the scientists scramble to stay on their feet.
Hardy har har. Now that's a roar.
It's so loud. I love it. Meep, meep, I want to go home.
Stay calm, stay calm. We must not panic. If we remain respectful, the beast will not harm us.
Roar! I'm a silly blubber beast too. Splash! Ooh! The creature's vocalizations are fascinating. We've never heard anything like it.
It's just trying to communicate. We should listen.
Yeah, man. Let's get our recording and head back. No need to overstay our welcome, man.
Scene 4. The escape. The blubber beast begins to move, shaking the cavern even more. Scientists realize it's time to leave before the situation gets out of hand.
Hardy har har. Time to go, folks. This beast means business.
It's so loud. I love it. But we gotta run. Meep, meep, run, run.
Quickly, follow me, everyone. The exit is this way.
Whee! Splash, splash. Let's slide out of here. We have the data we need. Let's not risk anymore.
Stay close to me, Meep. We'll be safe.
Yeah, man. Just keep it cool, everyone. We'll double down on getting out of here, man.
The group manages to escape the cavern just as it starts to collapse behind them. They emerge into the icy tundra. breathing heavily but exhilarated by their adventure. Scene 5. Back at the base. There, the scientists return to their research base, exhausted but triumphant. They gather around the table once more, reviewing the data they collected.
Hardy har har. That was one wild ride.
The loudest adventure ever. I loved it. Meep, glad that's over. Meep.
We did well. We encountered the Blubber beast and lived to tell the tale.
Splash, splash. What a silly beast. So blubbery. The data we've collected is invaluable. It will change our understanding of prehistoric creatures.
And we did it together. That's what matters most.
I mean, yeah, man. We doubled down, did our thing, and made it back in one piece. Let's celebrate with some hot cocoa.
Screen fades to black as the group clinks their mugs together, celebrating their survival and the successful discovery of the Blubber beast. The end.
Yay! Are you ready for the next story? Because this one is called
The Bridge of the Lumbering Troll.
In a realm of towering mountains and misty forests, there was a bridge that crossed over a deep Russian river. This bridge was guarded by Homie, a massive, lumbering troll with a heart as big as his belly and a love for rules. Homie was a kind troll, but he took his job very seriously. Only those who could prove themselves worthy were allowed to cross his bridge.
One sunny afternoon, two travelers approached the bridge. Wisteria, a talented bard with a voice as enchanting as the wind, and Ghost, a quick and sneaky thief who could slip in and out of trouble like a shadow. They were on a mission to retrieve a rare artifact hidden in the forest on the other side of the bridge. The only problem? They had to get past Homie first.
They neared the bridge. Homie's deep voice rumbled out from under it.
Who dares approach my bridge? Wisteria and Ghost exchanged a glance. Wisteria, ever the diplomat, stepped forward with a friendly smile.
Greetings, mighty Homie. We seek to cross your bridge. We have an important quest that requires us to reach the forest beyond.
Homie lumbered out from beneath the bridge, his massive form casting a long shadow. He scratched his head thoughtfully as he looked down at the two travelers. You wish to cross my bridge, do you? Well, it's not that simple. I have rules, you know.
Ghost, ever the clever one, tilted her head. What are these rules, Homie?
The troll nodded sagely. I only let people cross if they can either make me laugh, bring me something delicious, or solve a riddle that's been plaguing me for days.
Wisteria's eyes twinkled with mischief. Ooh, what if we could do all three?
Homie's eyes widened in surprise. All three! No one's ever done that before. If you can, I'll let you cross without hesitation.
The bard and the thief huddled together, whispering their plans. Finally, Wisteria turned back to Homie with a grin. We'll start with the law. If you don't mind, Ghost here is quite the jokester.
Ghost, ready for the challenge, step forward. Alright, Homie, here's one for you. Why don't skeletons fight each other? Homie furrowed his brow deep in thought. I don't know why.
Because they don't have the guts. Ghost finished with a flourish.
For a moment there was silence. Then Homie burst into a deep, rolling laugh that shook the bridge itself. Ho 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 ho! That's a good one. Alright, you made me laugh. What's next?
Wisteria stepped up, her fingers already strumming her lute. Now, for something delicious. I know you can't eat music, but how about a sweet, soothing melody for your ears.
Before Homie could respond, Wisteria began to play a tune so beautiful and so melodic that the birds in the trees stopped to listen. The music was like honey, rich and smooth, filling the air with warmth. Homie closed his eyes, swaying gently to the rhythm. When the last note faded away, he sighed contentedly. That was delicious!
Homie said, a dreamy look in his eyes.
I've never heard anything so wonderful. You passed the second test, but now for the hardest one. Can you solve my riddle?
Wisteria and Ghost shared a confident smile. We'll give it our best shot, Wisteria said.
Homie cleared his throat, his voice deep and serious. All right, here it is. I speak without a mouth. I hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?
Ooh. Ghost's mind raced as she tried to puzzle out the answer. Wisteria, however, already had it figured out. She leaned over and whispered to Ghost, who grinned.
Together they turned to Homie and answered in unison.
An echo!
Homie's eyes widened in surprise and delight. That's right! You solved it!
Wisteria and Ghost high-fived each other. Proud of their teamwork, Homie, true to his word, stepped aside and gestured for them to cross the bridge. You've proven yourselves worthy. Go ahead, cross the bridge, and may your quest be successful.
As they crossed, Wisteria turned back and gave Homie a grateful smile.
Thank you, Homie. You're not just a great troll, you're a great friend.
Homie beamed, his heart swelling with pride. Anytime, Wisteria. Anytime.
With the bridge behind them, Wisteria and Ghost continued on their quest, knowing that they had not only outmaneuvered the troll, but had also made a friend in the process. The end.
We'll continue this journey with a story called
The Giant Sturgeon Adventure.
One bright morning, Ghost, Wisteria, and Homie were walking along the riverbank, enjoying the sunshine and the gentle breeze. Ghost led the way, her strong sense of justice making sure they stayed on the right path. Wisteria followed, happy to be free of her sneezes. And Homie, now the smartest one of the group, sure, was busy studying a map of the area.
Suddenly, they heard a splashing in the river. They rushed over and saw something amazing. A group of giant sturgeons were playing in the water, acting just like puppies. They leaped out of the water, wagging their massive tails and rolling around in the shallows.
Look at them, Wisteria exclaimed, her eyes wide with excitement. They're so cute.
We have to pet them, Ghost declared, her spunky attitude shining through. They're just like big, scaly puppies.
Ew. Homie adjusted his glasses, which he didn't really need, but though made him look smarter, I guess, and nodded.
According to my calculations, these sturgeons are exhibiting unusual behavior, likely due to the high concentration of joy pollen in the air. If we approach them slowly and gently, we should be able to pet them without any trouble.
Joy pollen? Ghost asked, raising an eyebrow.
Yes, Homie replied confidently. It's a rare phenomenon that makes all creatures feel happy and playful. And by all my estimates, it's at peak right now.
Damn. Well then, let's not waste any time, Wisteria said, already moving towards the river.
The three friends tiptoed to the water's edge. One of the giant sturgeons noticed them and flipped over onto its back, wagging its fins as if asking for a belly rub.
Ghost laughed. I think it likes us.
Of course it does, Homie said with a grin. The joy pollen makes everyone friendly. Go ahead and give it a pat.
Wisteria was the first to reach out and gently rub the sturgeon's belly. The giant fish made a happy gurgling sound.
Jesus.
Flashing its tail in delight. Ghost joined in, giving another sturgeon a good scratch behind its gills.
These are the friendliest fish I've ever met, Ghost exclaimed. Quite the anomaly, Homie remarked, though he was already busy petting another sturgeon that had nudged him for attention.
For what felt like hours, the trio played with the sturgeons, laughing and enjoying the rare experience. Eventually, the joy pollen began to wear off. Oh no. And the sturgeons returned to their usual calm and majestic self.
As they swam away, Ghost, Wisteria, and Homie waved goodbye, feeling a sense of accomplishment.
That was amazing, Wisteria said, still smiling ear from ear.
Definitely something to write about in my notes, Homie added, already scribbling down his observations.
And we got to pet the friendliest sturgeons ever, Ghost said proudly. Mission accomplished.
With that, the three friends continued their walk along the riverbank, ready for whatever strange and wonderful adventure awaited them next. The end.
We're halfway there, and we'll keep going with a story called
The Great Bone Hunt. In a sleepy little town surrounded by rolling hills and winding rivers, lived three very special dogs. Wildfire, the old hound dog with a wise gaze and a nose that could sniff out anything. Ghost, a tiny yappy puppy who never stopped moving or barking. And Homie, a big happy pit bull with a wagging tail that could knock over a fence if he wasn't careful.
One crisp morning, as the sun painted the sky with shades of orange and pink, Ghost came barreling into the yard, barking her head off.
Wildfire! Homie! Guess what I heard? Ghost yipped, bouncing around them like a rubber ball. There's a bone out there. The biggest bone ever. We have to find it.
Wildfire, who had been napping in the shade, lifted her head slowly, her ears perked up at the mention of a bone. The biggest bone, you say? Well now, that sounds like a mighty fine adventure.
Homie, who had been lazily chewing on a stick, dropped it in excitement. A bone big enough for all of us. Let's go, I'm ready.
And so the three dogs set off on their grand quest to find the biggest bone to chew on. They trotted out of town, through fields of tall grass, where crickets sang over the hills, where the wind whistled a merry tune.
Wildfire led the way, her nose to the ground, following the scent of something special. Ghost darted back and forth, barking at everything from butterflies to rustling leaves, while Homie kept pace with his happy grin, his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
As they walked, they encountered all sorts of creatures. A wise old owl perched on a branch gave them a clue. The biggest bone you seek is far and wide, across the river where secrets hide.
To the river, Ghost yapped, running ahead.
When they reached the river, they found it was too wide to cross easily. Wildfire sniffed around and found an old rickety bridge. We'll cross here, Wildfire said, but be careful, it's a bit wobbly.
Ghost, ever the brave pup, darted across first, her little legs moving so fast they were a blur. Homie followed, taking it slow, the bridge creaking under his weight. Wildfire brought up the rear, her steps steady and sure.
On the other side, the scent of something delicious filled the air. Wildfire's tail wagged slowly. We're getting close.
They continued on until they reached a clearing. In the center, half buried in the soft earth, was the biggest bone any of them had ever seen. It was massive, towering over even Homie. Look at that! Homie barked in awe.
Ghost was already jumping all over the bone, barking excitedly. We found it! We found it! Wildfire walked up to the bone, her eyes twinkling. This is it, the biggest bone to chew on. But it's too big for just one dog. We'll have to share.
And share they did. They spent the rest of the day chewing on the bone, taking turns and enjoying the spoils of their adventure. The sun dipped low, casting a golden glow over the clearing as the three dogs lay down beside their prize, content and happy.
We did good today, Wildfire murmured, closing her eyes.
Yeah, Homie agreed, his voice sleepy. We sure did.
Ghost, finally worn out, curled up between them, her little yaps replaced by soft snores.
And as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, the three dogs dreamed of more adventures with plenty of bones to find and chew together.
The
end.
We're almost reached the end of our journey. But first, we're going to listen to a story called
A Quest for the Legendary Hunkamunch. In a vibrant world of Pokemon, where trainers of all ages aspired to be the very best, there was a wise and seasoned Pokemon master named Arf. With years of experience and a sharp mind, Arf was known across the land for his strategic brilliance. By his side was his loyal Pokemon companion, Nilly, a sleek silver-furred cat Pokemon with piercing green eyes and an uncanny ability to outsmart even the trickiest opponents.
But this tale wasn't just about Arf. It was also about Ghost, an up-and-coming Pokemon trainer with a fiery spirit and dreams of becoming the next Pokemon master. Ghost had trained tirelessly, honing her skills and learning from the best part of himself, dressing up the lines. The two would become an unstoppable team, always ready for the next challenge, except for that paragraph.
One day, while resting in a Pokemon Center, Arf and Ghost overheard a group of trainers talking in hushed tones about a legendary Pokemon known as a Hunkamunch. This Pokemon was said to be unlike any other, massive, with a belly that never seemed to be full, and an insatiable appetite that made it a bit goofy, but also incredibly powerful. The trainers whispered about its unique abilities, and how anyone who managed to catch it would gain instant fame.
Ghost's eyes sparkled with excitement. Arf! We have to catch Hunkamunch! Imagine how amazing it would be to have a legendary Pokemon on our team.
Arf stroked his beard thoughtfully. Hunkamunch, you say? That Pokemon is more than just a legend. It's a test of skill, patience, and strategy. If we're to succeed, we'll need to be at the top of our game.
Nilly, curled up on Arf's shoulder, meowed in agreement. She knew this quest would be a challenge, but with Arf's wisdom and Ghost's determination, they had a real chance.
The journey to find the Hunkamunch began in the dense forest of the Kanto region, where the massive Pokemon was last spotted. Ghost and Arf trekked through the woods, battling wild Pokemon and training their own along the way. As they ventured deeper, the trees grew thicker, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of berries, Hunkamunch's favorite snack.
After days of searching, they finally found clues to Hunkamunch's whereabouts, a trail of half-eaten berries and massive footprints that led to a clearing by a tranquil lake. The ground trembled slightly as they approached, and there, lounging under a tree with a contented grin, was the legendary Hunkamunch.
Hunkamunch was a sight to behold, a Pokemon unlike any other, with a round belly, short stubby legs, and a face that looked permanently stuck in a happy, goofy smile. Despite its silly appearance, Arf could sense the power emanating from this creature.
This is it, Ghost, Arf whispered. Hunkamunch may look friendly, but don't underestimate it. We'll need to be straight in our approach, strategic in our approach, too.
Ghost nodded, her heart pounding with anticipation. I'm ready, Arf. Let's do this.
Arf signaled to Nilly, who leaped gracefully to the ground, ready for battle. Nilly was swift and smart, and she knew exactly what needed to be done. Meanwhile, Ghost released her strongest Pokemon, a fierce Charizard who roared in challenge.
The battle began, and Hunkamunch's playful nature quickly turned serious. It let out a loud, rumbling laugh that echoed through the forest, shaking the leaves and sending nearby Pokemon scattering. But Arf and Ghost were prepared. They had studied Hunkamunch's moves and knew that its strength came from its sheer size and unpredictable attacks.
Nilly darted around Hunkamunch, using her agility to dodge its powerful swings, while Charizard unleashed a torrent of flames, forcing the legendary Pokemon to focus. But Hunkamunch was no easy opponent. It retaliated with a move known as Belly Bounce, using its massive belly to send shockwaves through the ground, knocking Charizard off balance.
Now, Nilly, Arf commanded, his voice steady.
Nilly moved in with a perfectly timed Shadow Claw, striking Hunkamunch and stunning it just long enough for Ghost to make her move.
Charizard, use flamethrower, Ghost shouted.
Charizard unleashed a blast of fire, and as Hunkamunch stumbled back, Ghost threw her Ultra Ball with all her might. The ball struck Hunkamunch, enveloping it in a brilliant light before falling to the ground. It wobbled once, twice, 3 times, and then, click!
Ghost's heart skipped a beat as the Ultra Ball stilled. She had done it. They had caught Hunkamunch.
Arf placed a hand on Ghost's shoulder, his eyes twinkling with pride. You did it, Ghost! You've proven yourself as a true Pokemon trainer.
Nearly purred in approval, hopping back onto Arf's shoulder.
Ghost picked up the Ultra Ball, holding it high. We did it, Arf, together. And with Hunkamunch on our team, there's nothing we can't accomplish.
As the sun set over the forest, casting a golden glow over the lake, Arf, Ghost, and Nilly knew that this was just the beginning of their adventure. With Hunkamunch by the side, the world of Pokemon was theirs to explore. The end.
Finally, we reached the end of our journey with a story called
The Leafcutter Ants' Amazing Creation. Deep in the heart of the jungle, where the leaves were as big as the sky and the flowers bloomed in every color imaginable, there lived 3 leafcutter ants named Homie, Ghost, and Meep. These ants were just any ants. They were the best builders in the entire colony, always coming up with the wildest and most amazing creations.
One sunny morning, Ghost had an idea. What if we build something that's never been built before? Something that everyone in the colony will talk about for years.
Meep, like what? Meep asked, their little ant antennae wiggling with excitement.
Homie, who was busy munching on a tiny piece of leaf, thought for a moment. Hardy har har, what about a giant leaf castle? One where we can have all our leaf feasts.
Ghost's eyes lit up. Yes, a leaf castle with towers and bridges and even a moat.
Ooh. Meep, and we can make it the greenest, leafiest castle ever, Meep added, their tiny voice full of determination.
And so the 3 ants got to work. Ghost, being the fastest, zoomed around the jungle scouting for the biggest, sturdiest leaves. She found the perfect ones, large and strong, perfect for castle walls.
Meep, with their careful nature, began weaving the leaves together, making sure every piece fit perfectly. They created intricate patterns that made the walls look like they were made of emeralds.
Omi, using his strength, carried the heaviest leaves and stacked them up high, forming towers that reached towards the treetops. Of course, he took a few snacks breaks, munching a bit of leaves, but he always got back to work with a hardy har har.
As the sun began to set, the leaf castle was almost complete. The ants had built tall towers, a winding bridge, and even a little leaf moat that sparkled in the evening light. The entire colony gathered around, their tiny jaws dropping in amazement.
Meep, we did it! Meep cheered, standing proudly next to their masterpiece.
Ghost grinned, her antenna twitching with pride. This is the coolest thing we've ever built.
Omi, looking around the castle they created, couldn't help but smile. Now this is a place where I could really dig in and enjoy a feast.
The ants of the colony celebrated, climbing all over the castle, exploring all its nooks and crannies. The leaf castle became the talk of the jungle, a symbol of what could be achieved when ants like Homie, Ghost, and Meep put their heads and leaves together.
And as the stars began to twinkle overhead, the 3 ants settled down inside their castle, proud of what they had built and already dreaming of their next big adventure. The end.
And that's a good one.
And with that story, we reach the end of our journey to Dreamland. So close your eyes and rest. Dream of the things you love the best. Tomorrow is another quest, but for now, good night and remember that you are the best.